I've just asked you 3 questions about whether you would be truthful, and
made me decide to lie. I also know him asking me.
Detective Jappy decided he wanted me for this, and everybody decided as system because they thought.
There is a question in cross-examination that has no good answer. It is not about the crime. It is about the person answering, and it goes something like this. Is it fair to say that you are someone who lies a lot? Say no, and every lie already proved against you becomes one more. Say yes, and you have handed the jury a rule for weighing everything else that comes out of your mouth. This video is 3 men who were asked a version of that question, under oath on the record. Not a ranking, 3 cases in the same impossible position, all real courtroom tape. We start in Los Angeles. This is the single most concentrated stretch of cross-examination this channel has found. The prosecutor is John Lewin, and he is not building to anything clever. He simply asks Robert Durst whether he lies a lot, and then whether he lies particularly when the truth might get him into trouble. Durst had been acquitted at a separate trial in Texas in 2003. In September 2021, a Los Angeles jury convicted him of the first-degree murder of his friend Susan Berman, and he was sentenced to life without parole. He died the following January.
RD 328, 315-15, page 51, lines 5 through 6.
And Your Honor, this is also part of People's 291, the March 15, 2015 interview.
Thank you.
I want to, and I'm going to just ask this straight out. If you had killed Kathy, would you tell me?
Does that refresh your memory?
It does.
And Mr. Durst, if I were to ask you right now, if you had killed Kathy, and I asked you, Mr. Durst, you're under oath right now today, did you kill Kathy? Would you tell us?
No.
Let me ask you, Mr. Durst, if you had murdered Morris Black, would you tell us?
No.
All right, let's talk about some other areas of untruthfulness. Is it fair to say that you're someone who lies a lot?
No.
Is it fair to say that you're somebody who lies a lot when it is something important that might get you into trouble?
No.
Can you explain to me, Mr. Durst, I've just asked you 3 questions about whether you would be truthful, and you've just said that even though you're under oath, if in fact the information was that you had killed Susan or killed Kathy or murdered Morris, or all 3, that you would lie, can you tell me then how that would not be characteristic of somebody who lies a lot?
Those are the 3 things that I would lie about. There are very few things that I would lie about.
Well, it's fair to say that in the context of this case, you'll lie about anything that you believe is a threat to get you convicted, correct?
No.
So you have a list of things you will lie about on this trial, but it's only 3 things, and then the rest of the things you'll be truthful? Is that what you're telling us?
Well, I don't know what else I'll be asked.
Okay. Do you agree that when it is in your interest not to tell the truth, that you have a history of simply lying?
No.
So I'm going to go through this more in detail, but as an example, you lied to Mike Struck when you said that gave your alibi of having drinks with the mayors. That was a lie, correct?
Correct.
And you lied because you felt that it was in your best interest to do so, correct?
I lied because I felt he wanted me to have gone someplace after dropping Kathy off at the train station.
But in addition, Mr. Durst, you lied because you believed that that lie advanced the narrative you wanted and minimized the narrative that you had killed your wife, correct?
That lie encouraged Mike Struck to open a missing person case for Kathy Durst.
So you're saying that that wasn't a lie to try to help yourself, that was a lie to try to help the investigation to find your missing wife? Is that your testimony?
Yes,
By the way, if what you just told me was untrue, would you admit it?
yes.
Can I ask Mr. Durst, if someone is trying to assess your credibility, and you've just indicated 3 things you would lie about in this trial, can you explain how would somebody assess Bob Durst's credibility when you've already mentioned certain things you would lie about, and now you're saying certain things you won't lie about? How does somebody figure out which is which?
Same way they figure out which is which during their regular lives.
Meaning they look at what makes sense. So would you agree that if somebody tells you they're going to lie under oath about important issues, you would agree, Mr. Durst, that person probably should not be believed, correct?
No.
Please explain your answer.
Well, lots of people tell lies. That doesn't mean you disbelieve everything else they say.
Is it fair, though, that if somebody is telling lies about potentially 3 murders, that it would be fair to disbelieve anything else they say that relates to those 3 murders? Would that be a fair statement?
No.
Okay, let me move on. In the past, have you stated that just because you lie a lot doesn't mean you're good at it?
Maybe, I don't know.
So I'll give you the option, Mr. Durst, because it's quicker. I can read you the transcript, or I can play the clip. Do you have a preference for which I do?
No.
Okay, then I'm gonna read transcripts to go faster on some of these. Okay. Let me play RD 601 121310 lines 21 through 23.
And remember this, I believe it's People's 293 and 293A.
Yes. I mean, I told lies all my life, and nobody ever said, Bob, you're a real good liar.
Is it your testimony that you did not remember, not just saying that, but you don't remember that being kind of a guiding description of how you lived your life?
I don't remember saying that, and it is not a guiding description of how I live my life.
So when you said in this clip, I've told lies all my life, can you explain how that can mean anything other than I've told lies all my life?
Alex Murdaugh is not disputing that he lied. He says so plainly here more than once. What he is trying to do is explain the state he was in when he did it, and the striking thing is what he refuses to do with that explanation. He is offered more or less the chance to put it on other people, and he declines. I accept full responsibility. I am not blaming anybody. Watch how little that helps him.
I believe led to that situation sitting in there where those paranoid thoughts came to me. Them talking about not talking to anybody without a lawyer, Brian Murdaugh, checking my hands, the fact that I got a pocket full of pills in my pocket. I was the person who found Maggie and Paul. My distrust for SLED. All of those factors combined and made me decide to lie. I also know him asking me about Maggie and Paw contributed to that paranoia. All I'm saying is, I'm not disputing that I lied. I'm just saying at this point, you're saying I made a conscious decision to lie here, and I'm saying I don't think I made a conscious decision right there.
Okay, so it's later?
I believe so.
Had you already had your GSR done at this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I had.
And you'd already talked to your law partners and heard Sheriff Hill, now you're blaming him and
I'm not-
blaming
no.
Chief Alexander now as well for your lies?
No, sir, Mr. Waters.
Well,
I'm
you just
not-
added that one. You didn't say that yesterday. You just added that one.
Be given an opportunity to answer the question.
Objection.
Can you finish your last answer?
All right. Mr. Waters, I'm not blaming anybody. I accept full responsibility for what I did. What I'm saying is what I believe contributed to me doing that and the reason why I did that. I think those folks were trying to help me, so I don't blame them. I think they were worried about me.
Okay. I don't dispute that, but you're saying you took that advice as I need to lie.
Nah, what you're doing is you're isolating one
I'm
single
not
thing.
isolating anything. I've mentioned all the factors. You've added some new ones, but I mentioned all the factors that you're blaming for
No,
your
sir.
decision to lie.
That's not what you did. What you asked me is you said, I took my partners telling me not to talk to somebody without a lawyer as a reason to lie. And that's an inaccurate statement. That was one of the factors that went into a series,
decision to lie.
hang on, Mr. Waters, a series of events, all right, that caused me to have paranoid thinking, all right, and then I lied.
All right. But at some point it happened during this interview that you crossed over. You're saying that you came into this interview intending to be fully disclosing to everything, and something happened in this interview that sent you over the edge, and you said, hey, let me lie about the last time I saw my wife and child alive, supposedly, according to me.
I certainly didn't go into that interview, I believe, intending to lie. Mr.
Okay.
Waters, I wasn't capable at that point in time of planning anything or thinking through anything.
So somehow during this interview, all of a sudden those senses came to you to plan and do that.
When I got to thinking in that paranoid way, that normally, as I said, I mean, I could take a deep breath and make it go away. I never had a situation where it lasted more than a matter of seconds. That night, after all those things had happened, it didn't go away in a matter of seconds. And I decided to lie.
Those are the clothes that you ultimately gave to Dave Owen, is that right?
Those are the clothes I gave to David Owens.
At what point did you be able to chuck the pills you say are in your pocket? When did you do that?
When I was in my bedroom.
When you're in the bedroom?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you put them?
I'm not sure where I put them, but ultimately they would have gone in my suitcase.
So that's when you did it? Do you have a specific recollection of that?
No, I don't. I just know that I took them out of my pocket.
If we watch this whole video, you think you could, if we watch the whole thing, you think you can say, okay, that's the moment where my senses came to me and I decided I was going to tell this major lie?
I don't know that it happened like that, but I mean, I may be able to tell you some things that contributed to it if we watched the whole thing.
We've heard that. I just want to be clear, though. At least on this one, at some point during this interview, when you were able to plan your lie about this event, and you made that decision.
Obviously,
But it wasn't what we just played. It wasn't yet. It was some point after that.
I don't think that's a lie right there. Is the reason why I don't think that it's occurred before this, because what I'm saying there, I believe to be truthful. And I know this. I know for a fact that when David Owens asked me about my relationship with my wife and my child, I know that that played a role in that. And I believe that, and I may be wrong, but I believe that this was before that.
You ever heard the expression, not telling the whole truth is the same as telling the lie?
Sure I have.
That's something you understood as a lawyer and a prosecutor?
Yes.
All right.
All right, Mr. Murdaugh, state your full name for me.
Robert Tellez was an elected public administrator in Clark County, Nevada, and a newspaper had been publishing stories about how he ran his office. He takes a different approach to being cross-examined than either of the other two. Rather than answer the questions as put, he argues with the premise of them, telling the prosecutor that the theory itself does not hold. He was convicted in August 2024 of the murder of the reporter Jeff German and sentenced to life with parole eligibility after 28 years. He maintains his innocence and has appealed.
Correct?
I don't know that that's the case.
You don't know? Well, it sure looks a heck of a lot like it, right?
Yes, it could be the same model, but it could be a different size.
Sure. Let's just look at it.
I don't disagree that it's the same model.
Right. It's the exact same type of shoe, right?
Right.
Okay. So we're not in dispute about it. We can agree on that, right?
Right, yes, sir.
And your DNA is in those shoes that are found in your house, correct?
I don't know that to be the case.
Okay, but that's the whole thing of like it's a setup and I think the DNA people are framing it. Something along those lines, right?
Whether it's them or someone else?
You've heard the results. The results say that your DNA is in that shoe. We did hear that, correct?
That is what we heard.
Okay. And you just think it's just another part of the conspiracy to somehow get your DNA into those shoes.
So I believe that there are officers who, when they think that a fellow officer needs help plugging holes in the case, that they're willing to do what they have to.
Okay. All right. You characterize this case as a case that has holes?
I think that Detective Jappy decided he wanted me for this, and everybody decided as system because they thought...
Jappy's a part of it now, too.
Oh, he's always been.
We've got the DNA lab, we've got Jappy, we've got Mog. We haven't even touched Compass yet. We will. We'll get there because they're part of it too, correct?
So they paid Detective Jappy, yes.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to get to all that in a second.
Of course, absolutely, sir.
So, here's the thing. Are the shoes underneath the sofa of your house, are those actually your shoes?
That I don't know for sure. I do have similar ones, but again, I have not,
Oh, you similar. Publishing 360.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same shoe, isn't it?
It is potentially the same shoe as the one, yes.
Well, sir,
Mm-hmm.
you're not doubting that this is a photograph of shoes that belong to you, correct?
Right.
Okay.
This is me.
So this wasn't planted evidence, right?
The picture of the shoe, no.
Okay, great. And you were claiming ownership over that shoe, right?
Right.
So it's gray in color, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got the black Nike swoosh, correct?
Right.
It's got the 4 black horizontal bars in it, right?
Right.
And you would agree with me when you wore those shoes, you probably left your DNA behind there in those shoes, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're saying now that it's just a pure coincidence that the exact same type of shoe sitting underneath your couch in your house with your DNA on it, that's not the shoe?
Remember that I was under surveillance by Detective Jappy, and this was on a day that I was under surveillance.
Let's get back to my question, sir.
Yeah.
You're trying to tell me that the shoe that you see in that photograph, that you claim ownership on, that you say you put your DNA in, that looks identical to the shoe that's underneath your sofa, underneath the recliner, you're saying those two are not the same shoes?
I don't know that they are.
Okay. It's just another crazy coincidence, right?
When somebody chops up a shoe and puts it under the couch, that's a little strange.
Right. And here's the interesting thing. Look at the date on this. this is August 19th, right?
Yes, sir.
So
And
we're
again,
talking,
surveillance started at 8:16.
right? No. But this image is in your phone, right?
This particular image, I'm sure. I'd likely texted it to my wife to say, hey, I'm rock climbing indoors.
So here's the thing. So you're saying, okay. So you believe because you were under surveillance, what? That they knew the type of shoes you were wearing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You've seen the photos from the surveillances, right?
I have seen some of the photos from some of them. Not everything was produced to me.
You're not wearing the Nikes.
Not everything was produced to me, sir.
Okay. Of what was produced to you, which was everything,
It was not.
you're not wearing the Nikes on the days that you're surveilled. Isn't that right?
This
Sir,
819 was
I
during.
need you to focus on my question. Isn't it true on the days that you were surveilled, you're not wearing the Nikes, correct?
That is not true.
Okay. So we'll pull them and we'll take a walk down that lane because every single day, isn't it true you are not wearing the Nikes?
That is not true, sir.
Okay, you're wearing your little moccasins, the gray ones, the topsiders. Remember those? You own those, right?
You own the gray
topsiders, right?
What are topsiders? I don't know.
I'm dating myself, I guess. But they're like a boat shoe. They're kind of like it's like almost like a grayish felt, but they're not Nikes. You were wearing those when you were surveilled, correct?
If you want to put the photos, I can confirm
The
whatever.
answer to my question is no, you don't know the answer as to what shoes you're wearing on the days you were surveilled.
I have like a tan shoe that I probably wore during some
Well,
surveillance.
don't worry. We'll get the photos and we'll go through it.
Absolutely.
Okay. So here's the thing. If Compass Realty framed you, how in the world would they know about these shoes?
Again, I said that I was under surveillance by Metro on this date, 8/19, and obviously they took photos and they provided those to Detective Jappy.
Okay.
So
what? And then Jappy did what with them?
passed them to whomever he needed to. Again, I didn't commit the murder, so.
Okay. So, sir, there's no way Compass Realty could know you had shoes like that.
They're not without being informed.
Okay. And this phone and this data about your phone isn't produced until after you're arrested, correct?
I don't know when it was produced.
Okay. You had your phone with you on the day that you're arrested, right?
Yes, sir.
Like, you didn't give it to Jappy in early September, did you?
No, sir.
No, you had it with you the whole time until you get arrested, right?
That I know, yes, sir.
And that was on September 7th, correct?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, the only way anyone could learn about information inside your phone would have to be after the murder was committed, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. You think there's a way that someone could have found the contents of your phone prior to the murder?
We heard earlier about the fact that someone can actually hack phones, yes. And whether it was that they found it that way or by surveillance?
We heard about the hack. It was just a question asked by your attorney. No witness ever testified that your phone was hacked, correct?
But you asked if there was only one means, and no, there's more than one means, sir.
Okay. Sir, let's just be clear about one thing. You have had possession of your phone through the entire month of August of 2022.
3 men, 3 courtrooms, and the same trap in each. It is worth saying what that question is actually for, because it is not really about catching anybody out. By the time it gets asked, the lies are usually already proved. It is about permission. A prosecutor is asking the jury to stop weighing each statement on its own and start weighing the person. Everything here is public record courtroom tape. Subscribe for more real case files, told with respect for the people at the center of them.